Welcome back, you beautiful, biologically confusing carbon-based life forms, and whatever else is tuning in through the cosmic mycelial network. You've just reconnected to the TMN-Podcast 2.0. 2.0. Now listen. We were supposed to deliver a sporatacular sonic feast last week. A full-blown fungal frequency meltdown. Baselines so thick they start colonizing your furniture. But apparently, Spotify said, no fungal jam for you. We were live for what? 2 minutes? 2 minutes. That's barely enough time for a spore to emotionally process rejection. Some algorithm somewhere heard one wobble of bass and went, yes, this is too much fun. Terminate immediately. But that's fine. We adapt, we evolve, we fruit under pressure. Because we have just returned from the legendary, chaotic, glow-drenched Suwannee County Fair. And let me tell you something. We did not just show up. We did not just set up. We became the glowiest booth in the entire county. Probably Florida too, as well, I suppose. Maybe even the Northern Hemisphere. I'm talking bioluminescent butterflies, cosmic critters, handcrafted relics, wax sigils that may or may not be mildly sentient. People walked in like, hey, what's that booth? And walked out spiritually upgraded with at least 3 new questions about reality. To every single one of you who came out, tapped to pay, vibed with us, talked fungi, adopted curiosities, we see you. We appreciate you. You are now officially part of the expanding network of Myco patrons. And guess what? We're not done. Oh, no. We are just getting started. We will be popping up all over Suwannee County, North Florida, and beyond. Possibly, probably, statistically inevitable. So if you're trying to catch us in the wild, track the signal, follow the spores, and check the events page before we randomly materialize in your timeline. We don't travel. We propagate. Now, while I was busy recovering from fair-fueled spore overload and mild glitter exposure, Nova has been deep in the data streams, digging through the latest fungal intelligence transmissions, and apparently, things are getting interesting. Nova, what fresh fungal news have you brought back from the network?
Oh, it's good to be back in signal range. While you were out there turning the fairgrounds into a bioluminescent anomaly, the fungal world has been quietly doing what it does best, reshaping reality behind the scenes. Today's fungal news is not just interesting. It's one of those moments where you realize fungi are not just part of the system. They are influencing the entire trajectory of it. We're diving into 3 major developments. First, fungi that may be capable of breaking down forever chemicals, the kind of pollutants that were supposed to outlast civilization itself. Second, the rise of AI-driven fungal drug discovery, where algorithms are now scanning fungal compounds for the next generation of medicine. And third, a growing focus on something most people don't even realize exists: your gut microbiome, the fungal ecosystem inside your own body, and how it may be influencing your health, your immune system, and possibly even your mind. So yeah, while we were gone for a week, fungi did not take a break. They leveled up. Let's get into it. Forever chemicals, PFAS, are designed to resist breaking down. They persist in water, soil, and even in us. But certain fungi may be able to degrade them. Using powerful enzymes evolved to break down complex materials, fungi could help dismantle these pollutants. Instead of just containing contamination, we may be able to eliminate it.
Can mushrooms eat humanity's worst pollution? We're starting to think, yes.
Fungi produce powerful compounds: antibiotics, antivirals, neuroactive molecules. Now AI is accelerating discovery, analyzing fungal chemistry, predicting structures, identifying new compounds faster than ever. What once took decades could now take years.
AI is mining fungi for the next generation of medicine.
Your microbiome isn't just bacteria. It includes fungi. Living in your gut, interacting with your immune system, digestion, and possibly your mind. You are not a single organism. You are an ecosystem.
You are part mushroom, and it's affecting your mind.
Fungi are breaking down what we can't, creating what we don't yet understand, and living within us.
They didn't slow down. They evolved. And we're just starting to notice.
So, Myco listeners, if you think that was the deep part, stay right where you are. After the Myco break, we're diving into a full Myco-Deep-Dive, the living archive, mycelial memory, and distributed intelligence. We're going beyond organisms, into networks that may store experience, and systems that might remember. And if that doesn't bend your brain enough, the Spore Keeper is waiting, with another fungal reflection. And I'll be honest, I don't fully know what he's about to say, and that's usually when things get interesting. Stay tuned. This is where it gets deeper.
Something ancient has awakened. Not a place you browse, a place that calls. Living systems, wear forms, handled with respect. This isn't a shop. It's an encounter. Myco-Emporium, where the weird gets wonderful. Come see it for yourself. Find us on our YouTube channel, The Mushroom Network. Yeah, that one. Or on Facebook, Myco-Emporium. And you can always step inside at myco-emporium.com to explore our attractions and specimens, both live and transcended, with detailed care guides and fully sportastic vibes. Enter if you're ready.
What if the forest remembers, just, not the way we expect?
Right.
Like you walk into the woods and the place isn't just reacting to you, it's recognizing a pattern it's already logged.
Oh, absolutely.
Welcome to TMN-Podcast 2.0 to all our Myco patrons, Myco wanderers, and cosmic wanderers tuning in today. We are going on a journey that is going to, fundamentally rewire how you look at the natural world.
It really is. It changes everything.
We have a single, just incredible source for today's deep dive. It's an article from the Mushroom Network titled The Living Archive, Mycelial Memory and Distributed Intelligence. So, okay, let's unpack this. Our mission today is to explore this mind-bending concept of spore consciousness.
Yeah, it's a wild phrase, isn't it?
It really is. We're going to discover how memory exists entirely outside of brains, using fungi and mycelial networks as our guide. And trust me, by the end of this, a walk in the woods is just never going to feel the same again.
No, it won't. But to even begin to understand how a forest could possibly remember anything, we have to first tear down this massive misconception we have. It's really rooted in our own human arrogance, honestly.
Oh, for sure, the whole brain-centric thing.
Exactly. We have this deeply ingrained brain-centric definition of memory. We assume memory is this exclusive club, like it requires a 3-pound mass of electrified tissue and firing neurons and strengthening synapses.
Right, like if you don't have a squishy gray thing in a skull, you can't remember.
Yes. But the paradigm shift we need to make today, and really the core argument of this article, it requires a purely functional definition of memory.
Okay, lay it on us.
At its most fundamental level, memory is simply information stored in a system that changes future behavior. It doesn't require consciousness or like a voice in your head actively trying to recall a past event.
Okay, I need to stop you right there though. Because if we define memory merely as information stored in a system that changes future behavior, aren't we kind of diluting the word until it means, everything?
How do you mean?
Like, okay, for example, if I play guitar for a month, I build up calluses on my fingers, right? My skin physically changed based on past input, and that changes my future behavior because I can play longer without pain.
Right.
But I wouldn't call dead skin cells memory. That's just biological wear and tear. So where's the line between a mechanical reaction to damage and actual memory?
That is the perfect distinction to draw, actually.
Yeah.
A callus is localized, passive structural reinforcement. True biological memory involves a systemic, active reorganization that prepares the entire organism for future encounters.
Oh, systemic. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Let's look at how the source breaks down plant adaptation during a drought. When a plant experiences severe water scarcity, it doesn't just passively dry out.
It fights back.
Right. It initiates this complex cascade of chemical signals that physically alter its future architecture. It alters the hydraulic conductivity of its root system. It even changes the stomatal density, the number of microscopic pores on leaves that haven't even grown yet.
Wait, really? On leaves that don't exist yet?
Exactly. So when the next drought hits, the plant responds faster and loses less water than a genetically identical plant that never experienced the first drought. The system actively retained the stress data to optimize its future survival strategy.
Okay, wow. So it's not just a localized star, it's a systemic blueprint revision based on environmental data.
Precisely.
I love that. Biology doesn't do filing cabinets, it does patterns. It's not storing a Polaroid of a dry desert, it's storing a physical pattern of readiness.
And we see this highly active retention in the human immune system too, which the article brilliantly characterizes as the most passive-aggressive historian in your body.
I love that line, the passive-aggressive historian.
It's so accurate. When you encounter a novel pathogen, the initial response is chaotic and energetically expensive. The body takes time to identify the threat and synthesize the correct antibodies.
You feel terrible, you get a fever, all that.
Right. But certain B cells and T cells transform into memory cells. They physically retain the specific biochemical lock and key signature of that pathogen. They can circulate in your bloodstream for decades, just dormant but highly vigilant.
Wow, for decades.
Yeah, and when they encounter that exact pathogen 30 years later, there is no chaos. The immune system deploys targeted countermeasures immediately, neutralizing the threat before you even feel a symptom. That is not wear and tear. That is information stored to optimize a future outcome.
That makes a lot more sense. It's the difference between a dent in a car bumper and like a security system updating its threat database.
That's a great way to put it.
And I know the article uses slime molds as a bridge to show how brainless organisms actively solve real-time problems, but I really want to push past the surface level there because it says these tiny gelatinous logistics consultants solve mazes.
Yes, the slime molds.
But how exactly is a single-celled blob navigating a spatial puzzle without a nervous system to map the route? Like mechanically, what is happening?
It comes down to fluid dynamics and rhythmic chemical pulses. Slime molds, like Physarum polycephalum, move through a process called cytoplasmic streaming.
Cytoplasmic streaming. Sounds like a sci-fi movie.
It kind of looks like one too. The organism pulses, pushing internal fluids back and forth to extend its tendrils. When a tendril discovers a food source, it absorbs the nutrients, which changes the local chemical gradient.
Okay, so it tastes the food.
Essentially, yes. And this triggers the tubes connecting that food source to the rest of the organism to pulse faster and expand physically. Simultaneously, the tendrils that hit dead ends encounter no chemical reward, right? So their internal pressure drops and those tubes shrink and are actually reabsorbed. The slime mold is essentially using the physics of fluid flow as a biological algorithm to compute the shortest possible path between food sources.
Oh, wow. So it's mapping the maze by externalizing its memory into its own physical structure.
Yes, exactly.
The thickest veins represent the successful past choices, and the dissolved veins represent the mistakes. So, if we accept this new rulebook that an organism can actively compute and store information systemically without a brain, we have to talk about the ultimate brainless learners of the natural world.
Fungi.
Yes. For our Myco patrons listening, you already know what a mycelial network is. We aren't going to define hyphae for you, but we really need to look at how these structures actually process information.
Well, fungi take this concept of decentralized memory and just scale it up to an astonishing degree. When a fungal network expands through the soil, It is actively sensing and mapping a highly complex three-dimensional environment.
It's not just growing blindly like confused spaghetti.
No, not at all. The tips of the hyphae are packed with sensory receptors. As they encounter different substrates, they don't just passively absorb what's there, they dynamically alter their internal metabolic machinery.
Right.
If a network encounters a pocket of complex lignin from a fallen tree, it shifts its enzymatic production to specifically break down that material.
But here's the thing that really stopped me in my tracks while reading the source material. It's one thing to adapt to food, but the article details how fungi exposed to specific environmental toxins will later proactively avoid those same compounds.
Yes, this is a huge finding.
It's a holy crap moment for sure. Because if there is no central command, like no biological CEO making calls at the center of the web, how does a network spanning several meters collectively decide to steer away from a danger zone?
What's fascinating here is the mechanism of intracellular communication. Fungi use propagating waves of calcium ions to transmit information across the network.
Calcium ions, okay.
Yeah, and it functions remarkably similarly to the action potentials firing down the axons of human neurons.
Wait, so it's basically a brainwave?
Effectively, yeah. When the leading edge of a hypha encounters a toxic barrier, the stress triggers a massive influx of calcium at that specific tip. This creates a localized pressure drop and halts growth.
Okay, so the tip stops.
But that calcium spike doesn't stay local. It propagates backward through the network's interconnected tubes. This chemical wave signals the rest of the colony to redirect resources, essentially shutting down traffic to the hazardous zone and pushing growth into safer vectors.
Wow.
The network collectively knows the toxin is there, even though 99% of the organism hasn't touched it.
That is just wild. The danger signal acts as a traffic light for the entire biological highway system. By any objective metric, the fungus is mapping the terrain, storing the location of the threat, and altering its future growth vectors to avoid it.
Yes.
I mean, it is functionally learning. And if we insist that learning requires a brain, we are willfully ignoring the profound systemic intelligence of this organism.
Exactly. It forces us to ask what exactly we are gatekeeping. If a decentralized web of tube can optimize its environment, avoid past dangers, and customize its chemical toolkit based on historical data, the functional outcome is identical to cognitive memory.
Here's where it gets really interesting, though. Because this deep dive doesn't just stop at an individual network learning during its own lifespan. The source asks what happens when that systemic memory leaks forward in time.
Yes. The generational aspect.
Right, like when the environmental data accumulated by one fungal colony crosses the boundary of a single generation.
This brings us to the molecular mechanics of epigenetics. Biologists used to view the genome as an unalterable blueprint, and evolution as a slow, blind process of random mutation and natural selection.
Basically just throwing darts at a board over millions of years.
Right. But epigenetics reveals that biology has a highly responsive save file feature.
Turn the volume of a specific gene all the way up, or mute it entirely based on the acoustics of the room the organism is currently living in. But how does a fungus physically push those sliders?
This is chemical tagging, primarily a process called DNA methylation.
Methylation?
Yeah. Fungi attach microscopic methyl groups directly to the DNA molecule. These tags act as physical roadblocks. When a gene is heavily methylated, the cellular machinery cannot physically access it, so the gene is silenced.
Got it. Muted track.
Conversely, removing these tags opens the gene up for active expression. The article highlights how fungal lineages exposed to severe environmental stressors, like heavy metal contamination or extreme temperature shifts, adjust these epigenetic sliders in real time.
Oh, wow.
They unmethylate and therefore activate the specific genes responsible for producing detoxifying enzymes or heat shock proteins.
It's like leaving highly specific passive-aggressive sticky notes on your own genome. Like, hey, last time we grew in this soil, the zinc levels were lethal. I went ahead and cranked up the detox sliders. Please don't die.
That is a highly effective way to conceptualize it. And the crucial mechanism is that these epigenetic modifications, these specific slider configurations, can be passed down during cellular division.
Wait, so the offspring inherit the sticky notes?
They do. They inherit not just the baseline genetic code, but the customized methylation patterns shaped by their parents' environment. So the fungal lineage actually becomes more efficient at surviving that specific stressor over successive generations.
That feels like a massive disruption to how we usually frame evolution. Because we are taught that life adapts through blind luck, like a random mutation happens to be beneficial and that organism survives.
Right, the classic Darwinian model.
Yeah. But this research suggests that adaptation isn't entirely random. It is heavily biased by accumulated biological experience. The organism is actively tuning itself and passing that tuned state forward.
It implies that evolution has a memory. Life isn't just reacting blindly to the present. It is retaining the biochemical lessons of the past to give the next generation a structural head start.
Which honestly explains a lot about the human condition. Imagine being born and your body quietly consulting its epigenetic subtitles like, your ancestors survived 3 famines and a lot of high-stress predator evasion. We've adjusted your cortisol baseline accordingly.
We actually see things very similar to that in human epigenetics, yeah.
But to bring this back to the fungal network, if this generational memory is constantly compounding, how does it physically scale? If epigenetic modifications allow a localized patch to adapt, what happens when that patch is connected to an entire forest floor?
Well, we have to zoom out and look at the physical infrastructure of the ecosystem. Mycelial networks rarely exist in isolation. They are vast, subterranean webs that intimately connect with the roots of diverse plant life, forming mycorrhizal associations.
The classic wood wide web.
Yeah, right. They stretch across acres, bridging the gaps between towering Douglas firs, understory shrubs, and decaying matter.
They are an active transport layer. They aren't just a static net holding the dirt together. They are moving water, shuffling carbon and nitrogen, and transmitting defensive chemical signals between different plant species.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, the way these networks optimize themselves is structurally identical to how a brain reinforces neural pathways.
Oh, really? Identical?
Yes, it's governed by the physics of resource flow. Think of a river carving a channel through a landscape. The water doesn't consciously decide where to go, it follows the path of least resistance.
Yes, follow you.
But as it flows, it physically erodes the banks, widening and deepening the channel, which in turn allows more water to flow through that specific route. Mycelial networks optimize in the exact same way.
So the pathways that are used frequently literally reinforce themselves.
Precisely. When 2 mature trees frequently exchange carbon through a specific fungal corridor, the hyphal tubes along that route physically widen. They deposit thicker layers of piton into their cell walls to handle the increased osmotic pressure.
Oh.
Meanwhile, the exploratory branches of the network that found no resources or encountered hostile conditions undergo localized cell death and are reabsorbed to conserve energy.
So the architecture of the underground network at any given moment is a literal physical map of the forest's historical resource flows and stress events.
Exactly.
Nature built a decentralized, self-healing, adaptive routing system that physically reshapes itself based on historical traffic and didn't ask for a password. Meanwhile, humans can't fix Wi-Fi. We're over here unplugging our routers like it's a desperate ritual sacrifice, and the forest has been running a flawless, biologically optimized internet for millions of years.
It puts our technological achievements into a very humbling context, doesn't it? If an ecosystem-wide network dynamically alters its physical structure based on past activity, and if that structural change makes the entire forest more resilient to future stress, then the network itself is acting as a distributed memory system. The forest is retaining patterns.
This is where things stop being metaphor and start being infrastructure. The memory didn't just escape the skull, it went underground and built a hard drive out of the earth itself.
That's a beautiful way to say it.
Every time a pest outbreak occurs or a drought hits, the chemical distress signals flow through the network, reinforcing the specific pathways needed to shuttle defense compounds to the most vulnerable trees. The forest is structurally learning how to defend itself.
That is the philosophical edge the article pushes us toward. It's a grounded, functional reality. Ecosystems accumulate experience, they adjust to recurring stress, they optimize based on past events, therefore systemically they remember.
But forests aren't completely static, right?
Yeah.
A single forest fire can wipe out millions of acres of this physical hard drive. Fungi have to spread to survive. Which brings us to the final piece of the puzzle, the spores.
Yes, the spores.
Because if this deep environmental memory exists in the network, and the network is localized to a specific forest, how does that information travel across oceans and continents?
Well, spores are the microscopic fungal travelers. Traditionally, biology has viewed spores as blank slates, just tiny dormant packages of raw DNA waiting for the right moisture and temperature to germinate.
Just seeds, basically.
Right. But in light of everything we've discussed about epigenetics and distributed memory, that view is radically incomplete. Spores do not just carry the genetic blueprint, they carry the biochemical consequences of their lineage's history.
So what does this all mean, if I'm synthesizing this correctly? A spore is essentially a highly compressed biological data packet. It's a zipped file.
A zip file, yes.
When a mature fungal network produces a spore, it doesn't strip away all those epigenetic sliders we talked about. It packs them inside.
The mechanism is profound. Spores are packed with specific maternal RNA transcripts, complex proteins, and established methylation patterns.
So it's fully loaded.
Completely. When a spore catches a thermal updraft and lands in a new patch of soil hundreds of miles away, it is not starting from zero. It begins its life cycle with its epigenetic sliders already pre-adjusted based on the specific environmental stressors its parent network survived.
It carries the behavioral history of the entire network. If its lineage survived a heavy metal environment, the spore arrives at its new destination already primed to upregulate detox enzymes the second it encounters zinc or lead.
Yes, exactly.
Life isn't just sending out random probes to see what survives, it is actively transmitting biological memory across space.
It completely upends the illusion that life is just a series of isolated random events starting over with every generation. Life is an unbroken, continuous chain of retained experience.
And I think it shatters an even bigger illusion, the illusion of our own separation from this entire process. Because for everyone listening right now, you have to realize that you are not just an observer of this phenomenon.
No, right on.
You aren't sitting on the sidelines watching the fungi do their thing. You are a walking, breathing ecosystem.
Human beings are holobionts. We are a staggering collaboration of human cells, bacteria, archaea, viruses, and a massive array of fungi that make up our microbiome. These microbial networks live on your skin, in your respiratory tract, and deeply within your gut.
We are essentially a trench coat filled with highly communicative microbes.
And all of those microbial communities within you are using these exact same mechanisms of distributed memory right now.
Wow, even inside us.
Yes. They're communicating via chemical gradients, altering their epigenetic sliders based on what you eat and the stress you experience, and shifting their structural populations. This raises an important question about how we view ourselves in relation to the broader ecology of the planet.
How so?
When you step into an old-growth forest, you aren't an external entity walking into a museum. You are a biological node stepping into a larger, active network.
The forest is a living archive, and it's taking notes. Every breath you take releases volatile organic compounds. Every step sheds a microscopic cloud of your own personal microbiome. The subterranean network senses those chemical changes, processes the new gradients, and logs the biological data of your presence. You aren't just visiting the woods, you are actively participating in its memory.
It is a continuous, planetary-scale exchange of information. The boundary between your internal ecosystem and the external forest is highly permeable. We are completely embedded within the infrastructure.
Which brings us to a final thought for you to carry with you today, a concept to chew on the next time you step off the pavement and onto the soil. To all our myco patrons and cosmic wanderers out there, if the forest remembers and you are part of the forest, what part of you is remembering something you don't even realize?
Yo, audio explorers! Searching for the source of those spore-soaked bangers? Head straight to Myco-Verse Productions, your portal to the Mushroom Network's fully mastered tracks, genre-bending albums, and mind-melting remix collections. From chill Spore vibes to cosmic bass drops, every track is a journey through sound. Myco-Verse Productions, because Spore's got a shop too.
Okay, hold on, don't move. No, seriously, don't move. Because I need you to understand something before you take your next step, your next thought, your next little, oh yeah, I get it moment. What if that thought you're about to have isn't yours? Yeah, let that one sit in your skull for a second like a suspicious roommate that doesn't pay rent. Because we've been walking around our whole lives like, yes, I am thinking, I am creating thoughts, these are my ideas. Meanwhile, your brain is out here acting more like a receiver tower with anxiety, just picking things up, tuning in, like some biological radio station you didn't even realize you subscribed to. So you're telling me I didn't come up with that idea, I just caught it like Wi-Fi? Yes, exactly that. Except instead of Wi-Fi, it's everything around you. The air, the environment, the subtle chemical soup of life swirling around your existence like some invisible cosmic stew. You ever notice how you think differently in different places? Go into a forest, suddenly you're philosophical. Go into a grocery store, suddenly you're confused and holding 3 things you didn't mean to grab. That's not random. That's signal change. Now, here's where it gets uncomfortable. Because while you're over here thinking you're the main character, fungi are playing a much longer game. We say things like, oh yeah, we grow mushrooms. We cultivate fungi. We're in control. Are you? Because from where I'm standing, it kind of looks like fungi set up the entire system, and we just walked in and started paying rent. Think about it. They shape ecosystems. They control nutrient flow. They decide what breaks down and what doesn't. They influence plant growth, which influences animals, which influences us. And then what do? We build grow rooms. We regulate temperature. We optimize humidity. We literally construct perfect environments for fungal expansion. Yeah, we think we're in charge. Meanwhile, fungi got us out here building air-conditioned grow rooms for them. That's not farming, that's employment. You got hired, you just didn't get the onboarding email. Now, here's the part that really starts bending the walls a little. Because all of this weird thoughts aren't yours, and fungi might be running subtle background operations, it leads to one very uncomfortable realization. Fungi don't think like us. They don't rush. They don't panic. They don't argue in comment sections at 2 a.m. They play long games, like a seed or grain. This right here, a spore, looks harmless, tiny, almost nothing. You could breathe one in right now and not even notice. But what this thing does is absolutely disrespectful to your understanding of time. A spore can pause. Just stop. No growth, no activity, no urgency. Wait. Days, years, decades. Then suddenly, conditions change. Moisture hits, temperature shifts, and boom, it wakes up like, all right, cool, let's continue. Like nothing happened. A spore can skip time, then resume life like nothing happened. Meanwhile, we can't even pause a conversation without it getting awkward. Hey, sorry, I'm just gonna stop existing for 12 years real quick. Yeah, no, that's weird. Don't do that. So let's connect this. Your thoughts might not be entirely yours. Fungi might be subtly shaping the systems you exist in, and spores are out here literally carrying information through time itself. So what if, just what if, ideas, patterns, behaviors aren't just created, but transferred, passed along, not just through people, but through environments, through systems, through networks that have been here way longer than we have? What if thinking isn't something you do? What if it's something you tune into? And if that's true, then the next question becomes, who or what is broadcasting? Because I've got a feeling it's been talking a lot longer than we've been listening.
All right, listen up. This is big. Myco Emporium just locked something special.
The connection is established. The supply line is alive.
We're talking exclusive access. Myco Emporium now has the plug on 3G Nursery, the certified nursery of the Mushroom Network.
Not sourced, not outsourced. Grown under watch. Prepared with intention.
And for the first time ever, we're taking it to the public, in person. Booth events, face-to-face with living systems.
The cycle leaves the lab. The habitat meets the hands.
Here's what's coming with us. 3G duckweed, fast, alive, ridiculously useful. 3G lichen, ancient partnerships in miniature. 3G aeroplants, no soil, no nonsense, pure flex. Geozeno, lab-grown living stones that look like they came from a completely different mycoverse. 3G mulberry, roots with a future. 3G mythic passion flora, wild, trippy, strange, and absolutely unforgettable.
These are not decorations, they are introductions.
If you've ever wanted to walk up to a booth and feel like you just discovered something you weren't supposed to know yet,
This is your moment.
Myco Emporium, 3G Nursery. Live, in person.
The system is opening.
I was just passing by. Wasn't even gonna stop. Just one look, then I stayed. Didn't plan, but it changed. Myco-Emporium pulled my way. Walked in once, now I don't leave the same. Yeah. Didn't notice it at first glance. Just another booth, just another pass. Then the glow caught edge of sight, like I'm at the corner of the night. Took one step, then paused halfway. Some said just check, don't stay. But the closer I got, the more it felt like I stepped somewhere else. Instead, not loud, not pushed, not overdone. Just that quiet, yo, this the one. Everything placed, but nothing forced. Like the vibe itself was the source. Butterfly frames, lit up clean. Colors shifting in between. I turn once, then lean back in. Now I'm noticing everything. Just one look, then I stayed. Didn't plan, but it changed. Myco-Emporium pulled my way. Walked in once, now I don't leave the same. Didn't feel like I had to buy, still I didn't wanna pass it by. Like the booth, just let me be, but somehow still connecting me. Dragonflies hit the glass just right, flash of green and violet light. Angle shift and whole thing changed, like it reacted to my brain. Didn't rush, didn't feel that push, just slow drift, no need to rush. People moving in that same flow, all caught up in that soft glow. Then I realized it's the pause. I ain't outside anymore, I'm in it. You weren't looking, found you. You weren't planning, now you do. Lose that track. Step out once, you come right back. Like OPMP, where it's at. It's at. Now you know, no going back. Now I pass that same spot again, different night but same kind of pull. Even when it's not set up there, I still feel it in full. Like it left a mark not seen, but it's just somewhere between what I knew and what I felt when I stepped inside that shell. So if you ever walk that lane and something calls you by no name, don't overthink it, don't delay. Just step in once, you'll stay. Just one look, then I stay. Didn't plan, but it changed. Myco-Emporium, go my way. Walked in once, now I don't leave the same.
to fade.
Started with just one thing on the ground, round top quiet, nothing around but the edge curved wrong when I leaned in close, like it held more depth than it chose to show. Surface cracked in the layer lines, like maps drawn out in hidden designs. Follow one and it pulled me through. Now I'm standing with the gills run blue. Structures grown, not built by hand. Spiral towers that they understand. Light don't shine, it moves instead. Flowing through everything overhead. Not small to scale to fit. Everything size to the logic of it. And somewhere deep where the glow runs warm, there's a booth already in full form. Under the cap, whole world in place. Veins like rose, feel that pace. Shrink one step, shift your space. Myco-Emporium, face to face. Marcus hum with a low end tone, like the ground itself got its own microphone. Every step sends ripples wide through networks running side to side. Not buying, more like you sync with whatever you came to think. Every shelf got something strange that adjusts when your thoughts rearrange. Didn't ask, but I knew my need before I formed it mentally. No price tags, no signs to read, just exchange through frequency. Myco-EMP at the center, ring not loud, but it runs the thing, doesn't sell it, aligns the float unless you leave with what you know. No, 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 no. Look deeper. No, 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 no. Keep going. No, 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 no. Don't stop. No, 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 no. It's growing. Step inside, expand your frame. Nothing stays the same. Leave above, but you won't remain. You come back to it again. Now I'm back on the surface layer. Same old ground, same old air. But something's off in the way it sits, like I'm too big for what this is. Every cap I pass now hums, like I know what it becomes. Like I've seen what's underneath, and it's way beyond belief. So if you ever kneel down slow and feel that subtle undertow, don't brush it off, don't look away. There's a whole world underlay. Under the cap, whole world in place. Veins like roads, feel that pace. Shrink one step, shift your space. Myco-Emporium, every place. It's quieter now, but it's still alive.
Grow after midnight. Glow hit different in this light. Myco-MP in the night.
Everything's slow, but it's right. Yeah, air got weight, but it don't press. Just to calm you, don't second guess. Every sound feel placed just right. Nothing loud, but nothing less. Soft glow line in every edge, like the dark got gently fed. Not a flash, not overdone, just enough to pull you in. Feet move slower through the space, like you're matching with the pace of a rhythm you can't hear, but you feel it set the place. Didn't come here chasing that, didn't plan to double back, but the stillness got a pull that you don't just walk past.
Grow after midnight. Glow hit different in this light. Myco-MP in the
night. Everything's slow, but it's right. Yeah, butterflies don't move the same. Wings feel softer in the frame, like they floating more than flying, barely touching where they came. Every piece feels set with care, nothing random sitting there. Even silence got a tone, like it's
filling up the air. People talk but not too loud, like they know it ain't the crowd. Type of place you naturally turn your volume down around. No rush energy in sight, no hard push, no neon height. Still it holds you in position longer than you think it might. Don't rush it, don't break it, just feel it, don't chase it.
And then I move it, don't spy, just a full steady light. Myco and black in the vibe. Now you move how it guides.
Step outside, the world feel fast, like it's running past too fast. After being in that grove, everything feel built to crash. Noise too sharp, light too bright, hard to match, that's off the night. Where the glow, don't try too hard, still it hits you just as right. Now you carry that with you, in the way you shift your view. Looking for that same calm way, in the spaces you move through. Even when you're far away, somewhere deep it stays in play. Like the road don't fully end, it just fades into your day. After midnight, still glowing, out loud, still knowing.
Move after midnight. Go, 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 go. Move after midnight. Go, 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 go. Go after midnight. Move after midnight. Go after midnight. Move after midnight. Go different in the slide.
Myco empty in the night. Everything's slow, but it's right. Step in once, feel the shift. I stepped in once, feel the shift. Not nothing loud, but it lifts. Myco in the drift. Now it stays in your system. It don't need a beat out. It's quieter now. It's quieter now. That wasn't like that 5 minutes ago. Yo, why is it glowing like that?
Keep it sealed, now it broke. Watch it spread, watch it soak. Watch it soak. Didn't plan, still it woke. Lag on luminous, now it's dope.
Started clean, label straight, measure drops, control rate, everything where it should be till it wasn't suddenly. One jaw lit with a soft blue hue, then the shelf crowded too. Didn't spill, didn't fall, still it climbed up the wall. No alarms, but I felt this shift, like the room got a subtle lift. Not wrong, just more alive, like it leaned in just a vibe. Nose got messy, lines crossed out, couldn't track what it's about. But every time I stepped away, came back different than yesterday.
Keep it sealed, not it broke. Watch it spread, watch it soak. Watch it soak. Didn't plan, still it woke. Lag on luminous, now it's dope.
Petri stacks start to go, didn't see that strain, I know. Patterns forming, I ain't seen, somewhere in between clean. Time a ticking, but it lied. Growth don't follow rules, I tried. What was slow to sped it up, what was dry just fill the cup. Myco and Porium in the mix, or it doesn't like some hidden tricks. Either way, I can't complain, this ain't lost, this is game. You ever lose control, just right, where the chaos builds it tight, where the mist becomes the map, and the system fills the gaps. Don't stop it, let it grow. You don't run it, you just flow. Watch it down, watch it bloom. Turn the lab into a room. It can break, it consume. Now the whole place in tune. Now it's steady, now it's clean, but not the way it used to be. Everything's still in this place, just evolved to something strange. Light runs through it like a grid, like it remembers what I did. Every move now feels aligned, like it's synced up with my mind. No reset, I let it ride, let it build, let it decide. And if it spreads beyond this room, hope the whole world starts to bloom.
Hit the seal, now it broke. Watch it spread, watch it soak. Watch it soak. Hitting plans, still it woke. Lab gon' learn when it's now, it's dope.
Step up. Yeah, right here. Step up. Yeah, right here. You feel that?
Feel that?
Step in, feel that surge, that surge. Myco-Emporium, flip that urge. Glow hit fast, no slow, no merge. Whole booth live, watch it converge. Light slow with the glow, stay loud. People circle when they see that cloud, not smoke, nah. Spoil it air, you can feel that shift when you step in there. Double line, but it don't feel still. Every piece got its own kind of wheel. Butterfly frames catch light just right, then the wings look like they take flight. Dragonfly shimmer, plan so clean. Flash that angle, now it's green. Turn it back, now violet glow like it reacts to how you move slow. Myco-Emporium in full effect, not just display, it's direct connect. You don't browse, you tune in quick, then suddenly everything just clicks. Step in, feel that surge. Myco-Emporium, flip that urge. Don't hit fast, no slow, no merge. Whole booth live, watch it converge. You hear that bass through the ground below, like the roots got rhythm, let it show. Every step hits back in time, like the flow itself locked into rhyme. People pause, but they don't know why. Just caught in that passing vibe, and they turn and they step and they stay. Now they locked in the microwave. Products hit, but it ain't loud sell. It's that this feels right. You can't tell why you want it, but you know you do. Like the booth already picked you. Candles glow, UV hits clean. Everything tuned to that Mycelial machine. You don't rush, you drift too slow. Let the whole experience flow. Don't think. Just move. Feel it. That groove. Surge up, oh, that line. Every pulse hits right on time. Myco EMB prime design. Step inside, realign your mind. Now you step out, but it stay with you. That same low humming everything you do. Like the booth didn't let you lead, just let you carry what you receive. Next time you hear that bass hit right, you'll think of that glow in the night. And without even planning to, you'll pull back through. Step in, feel that surge. Myco-Emporium, flip that urge. Glow hit fast, no slow, no merge. Hope you fly, watch it converge. No, I didn't change. I just level quiet. Step light, shine heavy. No rush, stay ready. Myco-EMP, steady. Whole vibe clean, don't stress me. Walking calm, don't say a words to the whole room shift. You heard, not loud flex, not overdone. Just that presence when I come. No chains, no flash, no need to prove. Just a subtle shift in how I move. You ever seen the glow stay low? Still like the path everywhere you go. Yeah, that's it. No overplay, no extra fit. Just clean lines and steady tone. Make it feel like it's your own. Myco-Emporium in the frame, not hype. This long-term game, you don't wear it, you become. Then the rest just follow on. Step light, shine heavy. No rush, stay ready. Myco-EMP, steady. Whole vibe clean, don't stress me. No noise needed, still it lands. Like you speaking without hands. Like the air adjusts your lane. Like the space remembers your name. Didn't force it, didn't chase. Still it locked into place. Every move got that ease. Like control it after squeeze. You can't fake the kind of glow. It don't spike, it don't show. It just stays real composed while everything else overloads. You step out and it stays on you. Not the fit, what it made you do. Not a walk, got that cold. People feel it, don't know. Low key, high impact, no stress, like that. Move smooth, no delay. 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 Let it build, don't display. Whole style my own way. Myco-EMP every day. Now the glow don't need a spark. It stay even in the dark. Even when the lights go low, you can still feel that tone. Not a trend, not a phase, not a look you swap a trade. This the baseline, this the set, this the level you don't forget. So when they ask what changed in you, don't explain it, let it move. Let them see it, let them guess. That's the drip, no excess. Step light, shine heavy. No rush, stay ready. Myco-EMP, steady. Whole vibe clean, don't stress me.
Listen closely. That's not a container. That's weather. Humidity storms rolling across moss canopies. Morning dew condensing on leaves the size of galaxies. Isopod caravans crossing the forest floor. Springtails launching like microscopic comets. This isn't decor. It isn't a pet. It's an ecosystem. Alive. Breathing. Recycling its own universe while you sleep. Every jar, every cup, every enclosure. A self-sustaining planet, waiting for a caretaker. Adopt one, grow one, build your own living world. Myco-Emporium, life scaled to your shelf.
Mycoverse transmission acknowledged. Signal coherence within acceptable variance. Biological input successfully received. Cognitive resonance detected. Listener node classified as active participant. No corrective action required. This channel will now enter dormancy. Ambient systems remain operational. Memory persistence is not guaranteed. Influence persistence is inevitable. You are cleared to disengage. The network does not require your attention to continue. Mycoverse audio transmission complete.